YouTube, it's just Jomi and I'm so glad you're here at my channel. Welcome if it's your first time, if not, welcome back. And today I'm going to give you some nuggets of wisdom to my high schoolers out there. Today I'm going to give you the top 10 tips I have for the high schooler's guide to imminent success. So let's get started. Take charge of your learning. If you don't take charge of your learning, then you're going to struggle in the future if you're trying to go to college. So have a scheme, well, we call it a scheme in college, or whatever list of requirements that you have to graduate to make sure you're staying on track. When I was in high school, I was always at my counselor's door. I probably got on her nerves, but I was just making sure I had all the credits that I had, because my senior year, I was 1 credit short and I had to take an online class in order to graduate on time, and you don't want that to be you. So make sure you are staying on track to where you want to be to graduate and that you understand what you're doing. Niggas know this ain't nothing new. It's been true. Build relationships. Relationships are so important because your net worth is your network. So in high school, one of the top 2 people I'd say that you should be building a relationship with is your counselor and your teachers. So if you have a relationship with your counselors are the plug. So they don't just know people within the school, they know a lot of people within the district. So they can get you plugged in with things you might need in the future, like be scholarships or other things as well. So with your teachers, if you have a great relationship with them, then not only are you getting to know them on a more personal level where they can understand you and your learning style and help you to where you need to be, they can also help you when it's time to get letters of recommendation for different things. So if you need to put a reference down for a job application, or if you're trying to get into college, if you don't have a relationship with your teachers, they're not going to want to recommend you for anything because they don't know you or your character. Your school involvement is very important, especially on your college resume. I wouldn't say get involved in a bunch of things because that's not going to get you into school. Yes, they want a well-rounded candidate because they want to see what you're going to contribute to their student body and to their campus culture. But getting involved in so many things can show indecisiveness and lack of commitment. So it's better to give 100% to a few things than it is to give 80% to 50 billion things. So I would choose a club or organization or something that you really enjoy, maybe like 3 or whatever you want to choose, and stay committed to it. Getting involved in your community is very important. A lot of people, I think, look at that as a chore and they're like, oh, I have to do community service, but it doesn't have to be something that you don't enjoy doing. Make sure that in everything that you're doing throughout your time in high school that you're enjoying yourself. For me, I was in NJROTC throughout high school, so community service was already a part of the program and I didn't really have to seek things out. But you can find things that are going on in your community that are free, that are stimulating, something that you enjoy, and you can still get community service hours for it. So you just have to go out and seek it. Also, whatever your requirement is for your school, for me it was 50 hours of community service. If you get 50 hours of community service or whatever the requirement is for your school, you can get a civic seal on your diploma. And that looks really great when you're going on to college or even outside of college, to show that you care about your community and you show that you're caring more about than just yourself. Now you might be thinking, oh my god, I'm a high schooler, I'm a freshman, I don't know my passion, like this chick is telling me to discover their passion. There are people who are 30 some odd years old, don't know their passion. I get that. So I guess what I really mean is discover what you enjoy. So if that's a club or organization at school, DECA, FBLA, debate, whatever it is, if you enjoy it, stick with it and get involved in it. So there's an app called Meetup out there, and Meetup is used for you to type in whatever you want, something that you're interested in, and it's going to show you free and charged events in your community where people are meeting up to do the same thing. So it can sound dangerous, yes, so don't do it without your parents' permission or going with a friend or whatever, but this is a great way to not only get involved in your community as forementioned, but to also develop what your passion is. Because if you plan on going to college when time being and you want to find a school that you want to go to and you already know what you want to do, you're going to set yourself up by finding the stats that you need to match you up with a great school that's going to set you up with great opportunities. You cooking. Stay on my grind, and you know This is such a great tip. I think College Board is very underused. So I utilize College Board a lot. Yes, I was a nerd in high school though. Like I was all about my stuff, tit for tat, had to get an A, everything. Yeah, that was me. But it definitely helped me. So College Board has this feature where you can search colleges that are out there all over the nation, and they show their stats and what's available. So what you can do is you can preset to search only schools that you have certain interest in. So if you are interested in a school that has this type of major where you can double major, you can look at the demographic of the schools, and that's really gonna help you out with narrowing down your decision. I know a lot of high schoolers are like, there's so many colleges out there, where do I even start? What am I gonna do? I don't even know what I wanna do. That's why you discover what you enjoy. But then when it comes down to choosing the school, you can preset your searches to what you already like. So anytime I got anything in the mail or an email about a college or university and I'd never heard of it, or even if I had heard of it, I searched it in College Board. I looked at the demographic of the school, the stats to get in, the classroom ratio. I was looking at all those things, and then I started to realize what I do want and what I don't want in a school. And then when I was able to preset my searches, it really helped narrow it down to what I really wanted to go when it was time to choose. So with all the tips that I've given so far, this tip is extremely important. It is time to start stepping up into being a young adult and to time manage. So when you time manage, that means it's time to really start looking at your phone and your devices more as a tool than it is as a toy. So if you were one of those kids that got a phone in middle school, that's crazy because I didn't get a phone until I was 13. But if you had a phone in middle school, then you were probably like Instagram, Snapchat, haha, Kiki, let me talk to my friend, let me go here, do that. That's cool, that's great, you can still do that in high school, but start utilizing your calendar, your alarms, and put everything in. Okay, I have to be here this time, I have to be there that time. That way you can do those things and opportunities that you want to be involved in, but still have time for everything else under the sun. And anything you do though, be intentional about it. Make sure you're getting involved in something where you have a plan and a purpose for doing it, and it's going to set you up for success in the future. You can do stuff just because sometimes if you just are interested in it, but if you're going to be committed to something, be intentional about it. Big time in the past, niggas put me down, had me big sad. This is really important. Scholarships. Okay, so all of my friends know I am the queen of scholarships. Much thanks to my mom though, she definitely set me up and put me on to the scholarship game. But scholarships will really help you in college because college is not cheap. So here's a tip when it comes to scholarships. You really have to put the effort in, because a lot of people say there's so many scholarships out there, bro, you can get a scholarship for whatever, and that is so true, but you gotta seek them out. So here's some things that I use. First is Scholly. Scholly is an app where you can get scholarships and find them, and that's just another database for scholarships. Scholarshipsharing.org, yes, another database to find scholarships. But a great place to get scholarships is your community. So, because your community is a lot smaller and there's a smaller pool to choose from, you have a greater chance of winning your scholarships. For example, my community foundation gives out scholarships as well, and so I submitted an essay and I got the scholarship because not too many other applicants applied. Same thing happened for one of my teacher's sons. So their neighborhood, sometimes in that case, if your neighborhood has an HOA or whatever, your neighborhood can sometimes have scholarships as well. And his son was the only person in the entire neighborhood who applied for the scholarship, so he got it. And when it comes to your essays, make sure you truly are telling a story. I find that a lot of times with not only my college essay, but also my scholarship essays, that when you really tell a narrative and draw somebody into a story with your essay, they're gonna fall in love with it. Use a lot of imagery. Make them feel what you feel, hear what you heard, taste what you tasted. All of those elements, those sensory elements, put it into the paper, because when you draw them in, then they're drawn to you, and your greater chance of getting a scholarship just skyrocketed. Not only that, but if you were developing a relationship with your counselors are the plug for scholarships, bro. They're the plug. They know about stuff they don't be telling people, but they know about scholarships, especially in your district. So not even just for your high school, in your district, for your public school system, there are a whole bunch of scholarships out there for someone who goes to this specific high school or that specific high school, or if you went to this middle school, and you can get scholarships that way. And then lastly, sometimes you can just search random scholarships. Literally, if you search in Google random no essay scholarships, boom, whole bunch of stuff comes up. Because I found scholarships for like video games, scholarships for people who, I don't know, if they can like touch their nose with their tongue, stuff like that. You can just get a scholarship for literally anything. You just really have to be intentional and seek them out. Something that's helpful as well is having template essays. So what I had was a whole bunch of essays, and they generally had different topics. A lot of scholarship prompts regurgitate the same theme per se. Why do you want to do this? Why are you passionate about da, 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 da? And if you have different different essays already written and prepared for that, just edit that joint up and send it in. And you just keep sending them out until you get one. You just really have to stay committed. You're gonna get a lot of no's, but you have to get those no's until you get a yes. Okay, so you really need to know your stats and your research of anywhere that you're going in, whether that be college, workforce, military, what have you. You have to know what you're going into. So for college, if you're looking at a specific school, make sure you know what their requirements are, whether that be GPA wise, SAT, ACT. Know what score it is, their average score, so that you know what goal to surpass. Don't make their average your goal. Make a number just above that average your goal, so that you know what you're striving for. That way, even if you fall short, you're still above average. If it's for the ASVAB, know what job you want to do, what you want to go into, and know what they're looking for and that type of person. That way, when you go into your testing for your ASVAB, or if you're studying to prepare, you know what you're striving for. Same thing for the workforce. Know what certifications you need to have if you're learning a trade, or what the company culture is like, what they look for in an applicant. So when you go into your interview, you know that you're playing the part of whatever they're looking for. But if you don't know what you need to have going in, the chances of you making it are slim. So make sure you're doing your research and know your stats. I just threw a lot of information at you, a lot of different things that you should know and can do, and it sounds like a lot, but it can be done. But one of the best ways to make sure it gets done is keep time for yourself. I drove myself crazy in high school. I was getting up at 3, 4 in the morning for competitions every Saturday, every practice, before and after school, AP classes. I was driving myself so crazy, stretching myself thin, and I truly tried to give 100% to a billion things when it truly was impossible and it couldn't happen. But along with time management, be intentional about it and actually set designated time for yourself. Whenever that time is, make sure you set time for yourself. That way you can decompress, please don't decompose, decompress, and make sure you rejuvenate. Indulge in your creative side. Whatever calms you down or gets you rejuvenated is what you should be investing in. Don't be a robot and be like, oh guys, I can't hang out only in this time frame. You can go on a whim and go have fun, but make sure you always keep a designated time for yourself. Okay, my high schoolers, I know that was a lot of information, a lot of different things to be thinking about. Make sure that you enjoy your time though in high school, because it is the last time you will be a minor. But enjoy every moment of it. Make memories, go to homecoming, go to prom, but make sure you're being smart about the choices that you're making, but have the time of your life, because high school only happens once. Thanks you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.